Seriously?
My computer, yeah, my computer is taking its sweet time.
Okay.
Hold on.
Maitland is her first name, and last name is Ward. Ward.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, there's Ray.
Now we can start.
Now we can start. Well, we are just going live, and this is the Blood Boiler Show. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
We have hidden in a cabin up in the woods. Scott, what's up, Wally? How you doing?
I'm drinking beer.
Drinking beer. All right.
Yep.
Good. In
Okay.
in Metro Detroit over there, we've got Ray Carley. What's up, Ray?
What's up, guys?
East Bay.
Uh,
And in the Evil City by the Bay, we have the Kid. What's up, Kid?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good to see you again.
And all the way in the Deep South, beating his Bibles as best as he can, we've got G-Dub. What's up, G-Dub?
I'm actually drinking my girlfriend's wine out of her hand-painted Rue McClanahan class.
oh my God.
Have you seen that?
That's something. That's awesome.
Oh, that is nice. All right.
Maitland? M-A-S-T?
Oh,
So,
forget it. Your computer can't
for the
handle
Maitland
both
word.
things at once, man. Just
Yeah.
we'll talk about it after the show.
G-Dub,
No, I'll get it now.
let's get this on the record. What's behind you there, man?
We have Abraham Lincoln riding a grizzly bear with an AK-40, not an AK-47, some sort of assault rifle in one hand, and I guess it must be the Emancipation Proclamation in the other. You guys haven't seen this image before? This has been around a few years.
Is that the bear of Mexico?
It could be. It could be.
Is that the Ebola bear? Is that the Ebola bear from Africa?
You know, it's actually, I wish I remember the name of the artist. It's like, I want to say like Jeremy Stucker or something. He has a whole series of these images, and they're all fucking awesome.
Are they meant to be, what do you call that, satirical, or are they, or is he seriously like...
I don't believe that he believes that Abraham Lincoln rode grizzly bears. So yeah, I would say,
Unlike Vladimir Putin, who does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back
Alright.
to you on the name of the artist, so I should really know that.
Well, first thing that I'd like to talk about today, guys, some hot news coming from the way up north there. Canada getting attacked by some wannabe terrorists running through their parliament building. Did you guys hear about this today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows more about it than I do? Because
Not-
I've only
not me.
read a little bit about it.
The only thing I heard was I had a meeting this afternoon with somebody who works with somebody at NASA, and they were I think he was in Ottawa when it was going down. We were supposed to have a meeting with him at like 11:30 today, and he threw us a text message says, "I can't get to this meeting because we were doing it via Skype. I can't get to this meeting right now because we're in one of the buildings here and we're on lockdown." So from the shooting and all that crap that went down.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was. They locked down the building he was in and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
I know the shooter's 32-year-old just converted to Islam.
Jesus.
The one they killed, right? Because there's one last time I read it, and then this was around noon today. The one of the shooters was still at large. Did they catch
There's
the
only
second guy?
one. No,
Oh, there was
there's
only one shooter altogether?
Yeah, they caught him right in the skull.
Did you see the video footage of them shooting up the? There's video of it. I saw.
Oh, wow, there's video already?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So the article I read said there was two shooters, and they shot one, and the other one was at large. But now they're confirming there was only one shooter.
That's what I just read it before we got on, and that's what it said. That there's
Okay.
just one. Excuse me.
And that shooter killed a guard, right?
Yeah, who has like a 4-year-old kid, so
Oh,
so I hope
jeez.
he gets 71 virgins, all full of crabs made.
uh, dude, I just don't understand that. You know, like, how can you be so passionate about something that you're willing to run into a building and just start randomly shooting people, even if it's, you know, the building that you consider to be the Antichrist building? Just, I'm not passionate about anything that much.
Well,
I can't imagine doing that.
Even think about the stuff that you really, really, really enjoy to do. You even after a while, it takes you a little bit of like you kind of have to get yourself up to do even the stuff you would like to do a lot.
I know. I love masturbating, and seriously, it takes me. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, you know, I'm just not. I don't feel like doing that today. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been me in like 1920 after Prohibition passed. I'd have just rolled into the ATF building, wherever it was, with like my 6-shot revolver and gone crazy.
Because you love alcohol that much.
I could have only been that passionate, you know.
Even try to take, for instance, okay, we get together and do this show, and I get together and do other shows and stuff like this. But at what point does somebody say, "Hey guys, I got this idea. Let's see if we all get on board on this." Okay? How about what kind of an asshole not only suggests that, but then other people decide, yeah, that's all right, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's fucking do that. I don't get it. I don't get that at all.
Well, some guy riding a camel, you know, 1,400 years ago, said it was a good idea. So what the hell? Why not? Brilliant. I don't even listen to the girl who said something to me 14 minutes ago, let alone not long ago. You know?
I tell you what, guys, the borders are going to be super tight this weekend. And guess who's going to Canada?
Canada! Yay! Canada!
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
How
you have a
borders will be.
Isn't your wife from over there somewhere? Or like
No, my wife's from the United States, but her family's originally from Lebanon. Well, her dad's from Lebanon.
That's what I mean.
Somehow they're not Islamic in any way.
Yeah, there's a lot of Lebanese who are.
It doesn't matter. Does she have brown skin? Because that's what they're looking for, is people with brown skin.
She's as pale. She's paler than Ray is, dude. So.
Oh, then you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, you can't tell that she's.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I was just going to report that, you know, how tight it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're
bedroom, we don't even know about this.
If you're coming in from the south, you're going to be fine. You know, if you're heading north, you're bad.
Coming from the north, you gotta put somebody's hand up your butt.
Yeah.
Ray, your wife, her last name doesn't even sound Lebanese. It sounds Eastern European, or maybe even just Greek or something like that.
Yeah. It's
Carly?
Sakeley.
Is this his wife?
Yeah, it's like Ronnie Sakeley, you know, the basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even close to. Oh, they got some Greek shipwreck about 200 years ago.
Wow, that doesn't fit my stereotypes at all.
Speaking of the Middle East, and so up here on Wunderlist, I've got this article about the ISIS and the Ebola mission creep. And what the article is about is it's saying that, you know, Obama has all these plans for the Middle East and for Africa that are initially supposed to be small plans, but they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, with regard to ISIS, you know, I think they're. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think we should get more and more involved with ISIS, and stock the Kurds with weapons, and stock the rebel Syrians with weapons, and train people, or what?
I don't know, guys. I think we are already arming ISIS by accident. You guys see that report yesterday?
Yeah,
the news.
Oh yeah.
They dropped some ammo down into ISIS territory and meant for like Allied troops, but it like blew off course and into ISIS territory.
Yeah.
So technically, we gave them a bunch of money and a bunch of guns.
I think we should just leave them, let them wipe each other out of there as much as possible. It's less we have to deal with. I'm for arming the Kurds because they can help in Iran. But
I mean, there's a conspiracy out there saying that ISIS is nothing more than a way to destabilize certain areas so that United States can come in and take all their oil.
Well, see, the weapons manufacturers that own Congress, they benefit from instability, and so of course we do a bunch of retarded crap like armed rebels that are fighting us, and and then we drop ammo crates in Middle Ice territory, then we blow up the ammo crates. We have to order more ammo. Look at all. I mean, I think maybe I mentioned. I'll just touch on it because I think I mentioned in a previous show, but I was watching that one report about. And this is common practice. The contractor was over in Afghanistan who ordered Jeeps, and then they destroy them and sell them to the scrap yards and just order more because they have to spend the money.
Yeah.
Zach knows that really well.
Well, yeah, and after almost every single war, so it's not just recently. We've been doing this since World War II. World War I, World War II. As we leave a territory, we've sent too much stuff over there. Too many Humvees, too many helicopters, too many airplanes, too many tanks, and a lot of the times, if we can't sell them to the country that we're leaving, like if they don't want them or we don't want them to have it, we take it halfway out to 200 miles off their coast, and we just dump it into the ocean, go back for more, put it back on the aircraft carrier, dump it into the ocean. You keep doing that. You know how much of the oceans is littered with tanks and helicopters and Humvees and Jeeps that
you guys
could have been brought home and to arm our police officers.
Yeah.
Right. Could have given them to Canada, eh?
Yeah, Canada could use them.
Is any of that stuff salvageable since it's in the ocean? Can I pull it out?
It could be, but it's so deep now that it would be cost prohibitive. Like the cost of that steel, it would cost more to go down and get that than the steel is worth.
Well,
So,
it's not even steel anymore.
well, yeah, it's probably rusted. A lot of it's rusted through.
I
But
thought all that was for artificial reefs because we were poisoning the atmosphere and the ocean so badly that we were destroying the
no,
coral
we
reef.
we built that artificial reef on
Balance.
tires down in the Caribbean. You guys remember that?
No, I gotta look that up.
The U.S. Navy.
Why the Earth is heating up, or whatever.
The U.S. Navy decided that instead of whenever they sell a car that was owned by the Navy, when they finally get rid of it, or if they ever have to replace a tire, what they do with the used tires is they store them, and then once a year they go dump them in the Caribbean to make this artificial reef.
I was gonna say, are you sure we're building reefs or arming the lost city of Atlantis?
Yeah. So, but anyways, after about 17 years of doing this, they finally gave up the experiment, and now the military is. The Navy is actually paying a contractor to go out and pull up this rubber tire reef that they had built, and the
Now, why
reef is
can't they
absolutely
just blow
it's
it up?
huge. What's that?
Why can't they just blow it up?
Well, because then we'll have rubber particles all throughout our ocean.
Oh, Jesus. There goes half the teenagers' toilets. Rubbers all over.
You're a
Oh,
funny guy,
my
man.
God.
But that was some years ago. That
I
was
can't believe it.
5 or 6 years ago that went down.
Oh, my God. That's the
So-
stupidest goddamn thing I ever heard of. I'm saying a lot.
It's probably Reagan's idea. Anyways, so the other part of that story was about of the initial story was about a Obama's mission in Africa, in West Africa, and trying to contain Ebola. We're just getting reports this week that the people who came in contact with Duncan down in Texas have gone their 21 days without becoming infected, and I don't know if you guys heard about this too. That nurse that got infected from Duncan, I guess she's doing okay now, but her dog, they also tested her dog to make sure her dog didn't have Ebola. And her dog was quarantined for 21 days as well.
Well, you know,
What is it doing with their dog, man? What the
The
heck?
news said that the dog was cleared.
Yeah.
And he,
you know, Magic Johnson can't get Ebola.
Of course.
That's one thing off my chest. I mean, that makes me feel better.
Well, because he just grinds up his money and injects it right into his veins.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, God loves him so much, he just kill him anyway.
so I'm going to show you a pretty cool bumper sticker I saw today. See if I can show it.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I can't see
Oh
that.
my God!
Oh, that's too much. That was absolutely too
Awesome.
much for me.
You know this. Even though
I
one American has died from Ebola, Ebola has turned into Obama's Hurricane Katrina. So you know the Republicans can kill 1,000 people with Hurricane Katrina,
Oh,
and Obama kills one person with Ebola, and they're equivalent. You know, according to
Well, it's 'cause he's
Republicans,
black.
it's equivalent. Yeah.
he brought it. I wish fascists had no in it. Man, that would be awesome. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's kind of like how Iraq is Bush's war, and Iraq is Obama's war, and probably be the next president's war.
Yeah. Clinton's war. It'll be Clinton too.
You know, it's really not. When I said that earlier about we should really let them just kill each other over there, honest to God, like, why? Who gives a shit? We're not there for the oil. I mean, we're
Well,
like the number one oil
we are up
producer
there
in the
for
world.
oil. We are over there for the oil.
We're there stopping the Chinese from getting the oil, maybe, but we don't need their oil.
Russia or Russia. Russia
Well,
sells
Russia-
oil to different places across the globe. You know.
Sure, but they're making their oil.
Yeah. The
We can stop the Chinese from getting the oil. That's the whole point of getting in there in the first place. But
Well, you know the North Pole, that area, like how it's all the ice is receding. I know somebody that is in the Canadian military or the Canadian Navy, and he says that the Russian.
Hold on. You corrected yourself. You said the Canadian military. No, I mean the Canadian Navy.
Well,
Do you
I'm
not consider the Navy part of the military, Ray?
oh, they're kind of like Navy's kind of like the.
trying to be more
Coast Guard.
specific.
Do you not consider the Navy part of the military?
trying to be more specific.
I thought that was.
I know.
like,
I'm just messing with you.
So they're exploring that area of the globe, you know, and he said that they come across Russian ships all the time because they're
Yeah.
also exploring that area.
So there's actually a border dispute going on between Canada and Russia, and it only started a couple years ago because sonar technology hit a major milestone a few years ago, and with that, we were able to map the floor of the seabed a little bit better. In doing that, both sides are claiming that their continental shelf goes out farther than what they previously realized. And both sides are saying this. And now, so they're both saying that, and this is important because the way international maritime law deals with borders is that where your continental shelf ends, you have 200 miles from that is your territory. And then after that, it's international waters, so everyone owns it. And so both sides are trying to claim that as far as they can. That way they have as much control over that area, because as those polar caps start to melt, it's going to expose more land, which may, or not expose more land, but make it easier to put those oil rigs up there and possibly tap into the oil supply that may be up there. They don't know if there is oil supply up there, but they're thinking there may be some. So that's the whole reason. It's an oil exploration thing, and they're trying to claim as much of the continental shelf as possible. And so they're feuding over this. And Russia has sent submarines up there to fuck with the Canadian ships that are up there, and Canada has filed lawsuits in international court and with the UN over it and everything. So
Who the hell is Terrence and Phillips when you really need him?
You know what's interesting about that? Denmark has a claim on that too, and
yeah.
they conduct war games all the time to practice for Russian invasion, because the Russians of course think they own like 75% of the North Pole, and they're thinking that the next World War III could be over. I say they. I was watching what's that? The show on HBO, the news show. Yeah, Denmark is
Vice.
Yeah, Vice. Vice had a show about this, and they're thinking this might be one of the largest untapped oil reserves in the world. And Denmark's conducting war games on the Russian border, preparing for Russian invasion of what they consider their territory. And Denmark being a NATO member, meaning if Russia and Denmark end up going to war, then the United States has to step in.
Right.
So this could be the brink of World War III someday.
And that I don't know if you guys heard about this too. Sweden has been there's a mystery submarine that is going up and down their coastline, and so now Sweden has sent exploratory ships to go find this submarine, and there's video of this submarine like going up and down the coastline, and Sweden's like, it's not ours, and so and I'm wondering if Russia is fucking with Sweden a little bit, maybe doing something similar to what they're doing with the Canadians.
There's something I read that's actually pretty provocative, and it's not even close to North Pole. It's right between Vietnam and the Philippines. There are a bunch of small islands, and they're all claimed by those countries, of course. But like 200 and some miles south of China, there's a bunch of reefs in that area, that same area. But China has rigs there, and they're pumping sand from the ocean floor onto these coral reefs and making islands and claiming them and building airstrips.
That's a great idea. I should do that and claim more land.
In Saudi Arabia, or United Arab Emirates, or something like that.
Yeah, but they do that for tourism there. They're just building like hotels and airports and stuff. They're not really trying to extend their...
That are slowly sinking into the ocean.
Yeah, and Denmark does this too. They particularly Holland, part of Denmark, they drain a big chunk of the ocean and build up that land just so they have more room for settlements and whatnot. But yeah, and China's doing it for oil exploration. That's their main goal. And you wonder how many border disputes could be solved, how many wars and conflicts could be solved if we stopped using fossil fuels. If we went to a alternative energy portfolio.
Oh no, hippie. I'm not sure.
Because it's never gonna fucking happen.
No.
This is, I don't know, kind of along these lines. Did you hear about Michigan today with Tesla?
Yeah.
Oh, did they pass their law?
About that.
Snyder, they can't. What the fuck? The headline was, I just read it here. Governor Snyder signs a law to ban Tesla direct sales in Michigan.
Yeah.
Why?
So Tesla can't sell. What Tesla was doing is they actually owned the dealerships, and Michigan. Well, and this has been a trend throughout the United States. Dealerships are complaining that because Tesla owns the dealerships, there is no middleman, and so there's no middleman markup. And so these Tesla vehicles are Tesla gains a greater profit, but also they're now directly competing with dealerships in for Ford and GM and Chrysler and Mercedes and whatnot. And they're complaining that this sort of direct market campaigning hurts dealerships, and so they're going around protecting these companies or these dealerships from this startup tech company, this Tesla automobile company.
In reality, he didn't pass a law. He's enforcing laws that were already put in place. That law has been around for decades.
I'd hate to see a law that helps consumers so much. That really sucks.
I think G-Dub, I think he actually, but the way they worded it though, I think it's actually, isn't it a bill that went up specifically targeting Tesla? Because Tesla was claiming that what we actually do is we don't really sell it there, because all you're doing is you're walking into the store and you're actually just ordering your vehicle, because they don't sell you a vehicle right there on the spot. You order it from them, and what you do is their people are just showing you all the options, and they have show models and stuff like that, so you can check them out and test drive it. But you don't walk away that day with a car. What you do is you go online with them and you pick your car, and then it gets shipped to your house.
Kind of like the old days. Kind of like the old days of buying a car. You order all the items, and you don't get the car that very same day. You just kind of get a car kind of custom built for you with like aftermarket pieces.
Yeah.
And
you might be right. I think maybe they were. I mean, the law was in place before, but on the other hand, all right. So is CarMax illegal? Is it illegal to order a car off CarMax.com and have it sent to you? So I think you're right. I think there was a law in place already saying that the manufacturer couldn't own the dealership, but I think there was another bill kind of coinciding with that, kind of aimed at Tesla.
Yeah, and I imagine. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I understand Snyder's point of view in the fact that he's just trying to save. He's trying to save those businesses from being extinct. If Ford or GM or whatever big three decides to go that business model and just skip the dealers and just sell cars outright just to compete with Tesla, that very well could happen.
This affects the jewelry manufacturers as well, because every douchebag salesman who's a car dealer has to have some faggy jewelry on. I mean, we got to think about the down the road, trickle down, baby.
The pinky ring. They all have pinky rings.
Michael Savage's trickle-down economics.
Well, the thing is,
I got that book right here. It's Trickle Down Tyranny, actually.
and that's the thing. It's they're just they're skipping all the headaches. What do I hate about going to get a new car is dealing with these idiots trying to dick you over.
Yeah.
You never know what the real price is and what price you should have walked away with, and that's
I think that's what they're doing with Teslas are doing right now. Here's a price. You want it? Pick out what you want. Add it on to it. There's a price done. And there's really no matter.
And here you got fucking Tesla, like, okay, nobody's fucking trying to decide between, buying a Geo Metro and a $300,000 fucking electric sports car. Okay?
Yeah.
There's no other fucking car like Tesla on the market.
Have you seen the videos of that thing automatically driving itself and everything?
Oh, man, those fucking cars are amazing.
It is insane. It's like, okay, Google, you're coming with a self-driving car? We already got it. This thing is, it's friggin' nuts what that thing does.
Though, when Google buys Tesla and puts a Starbucks machine right inside of it, no, but you're right, Ray. I think Ford and GM, they were looking at this and thinking, maybe we can do away with the dealerships, but And I wonder why is Apple allowed to sell their product directly without a middleman, but General Motors is not allowed to sell its product directly. You know, I mean, what? So I don't think this law would ever, if challenged, I don't think it would really hold up to scrutiny, especially when it got to like the federal court level or Supreme Court. Because now what's happening is the state of Michigan has impeded interstate commerce, which, because Tesla isn't actually made in Michigan, and by doing so, they may have overstepped their boundaries of authority, and a federal court could claim that they have jurisdiction and thus can rule on this matter and maybe rule this law unconstitutional. I don't know how far Tesla's willing to take it, but they, you know, this model is going to shift their entire, not just here in Michigan, because it's happening all over the country in every state. It's going to shift Tesla's business model, and to a point that may negatively hurt them.
Well, I'm curious if Tesla will be able to sell their products like that in other states, and then Michigan would have to be forced to go that route.
Yeah, so I go down to Ohio to buy a Tesla.
Yeah, why not?
I can't buy it here in
Well,
Michigan.
we know Ohio ain't gonna do that.
G-Dub, I know down in Georgia that was another place where the dealers are doing the same thing right now. I read that a while back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they
luckily I don't have the $200,000 to buy a Tesla, or however much they cost. These things are fucking expensive.
yeah
But-
Tesla did just release a $40,000 version, but
Which one is it? The E or something, or the D? I can't remember.
I'm not sure what it is, but I do know they have a $40,000.
But I tell you what, man, good riddance to fucking dealerships. Like, where else do you go and buy a new product and they won't tell you what the price tag is? Like you walk into the Myers, I'll give you $3.49 for that pack of chicken. Best I can do is $3.29. Well, hold on, let me talk to my manager.
Go to my manager.
You ever been to Vegas?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not real upfront with the prices either.
I said a new product, not some old whore.
Oh,
All right, let's see what else is on our Wonder List, gentlemen. I put this up last week, and we really haven't talked about it, but Walmart owners are backing campaigns to limit rooftop solar power. This comes from Vice, G-Dub's news source. So what the article goes on to talk about is that the family members that own, so the Waltons that own Walmart, they heavily invest in energy companies, and a lot of Walmart stock, or Walmart owns a lot of stock in energy companies, and energy companies are furious with these rooftop solar panels because it's decentralizing energy, and it's energy companies are having to compete with the
sun.
Yeah.
There's a flaming ball in the sky that's kicking around.
You know, but what's happening is energy companies year after year saw revenues increase by like 3 or 4% every year, because as more development occurred, more people needed electricity, you know, so more people were paying for power. As technology companies got more advanced and you know, and server space takes up a lot of electricity, so they were making a profit. But then the solar panel and wind turbine industry comes in and starts to decentralize where we get our energy from, and now energy companies are losing revenue every year to the point where they're losing profits by like 4 or 5% every year because of this.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Are you telling me Exxon might not break the record again for the most profits by a huge international corporation?
Need 'em.
Well,
I don't think they're talking about. I don't think they're talking about like oil and gas companies. I think they're referring to power
Consumers.
companies, the
Like
ones
Utilities.
that like Detroit Edison, DTE, and Consumers Energy, places like that.
Maryland.
Hey man, everybody knows that power grid's as stable as it gets. Come on, brother. Come on.
Yeah, I think someone sneezed in Ohio about 10 years ago when it took out half of North America, didn't it?
The thinking here is exactly what we were talking about with the cars. Nobody can argue right now that if every gas car that's on the road was an electric car, the world wouldn't be a little bit better. Maybe just a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're burning more
That's
coal.
the bottom line, my friend.
You know, it's. I don't know. It's all
Well,
about.
we could be burning more coal, but maybe we would be getting our energy from wind turbine and the sun instead.
I mean,
Actually, I read a thing on BBC where in Tunisia they've scouted out and they're ready to build this huge solar panel or mirror thing where it reflects the sun into a tower in the middle, and it creates all this energy, and they're shipping that from Tunisia over a cable through the Mediterranean to Italy, and that's going to power like 2.5 million homes in the UK.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you can't convince me. I'm pretty sure a lot of these energy companies, they buy patents for solar energy and shred them. Like, the sun, think about it though. The sun produces enough energy to light the entire fucking planet. You can't tell me that we can't light our buildings with it at night.
If
Like,
anybody believes in God, this is the best way to see it, man. The sun gives us energy. The moon is where we put our trash.
I like where your head's at.
Or in
We
some
should
cases,
do-
we can throw trash in the sun.
Yeah, we should just.
Prisoners
You
on the
guys-
moon.
Did you guys ever see Superman 4, the worst Superman movie of all of them?
Which one is that? Is it the Richard Pryor one?
It's no, I don't think it's the Richard. That was the
I've seen
third
Super
one.
Bad.
but
are you talking about when
Superman-
he spins the Earth backwards to turn back
no,
time?
that was the first one.
That was the original.
Oh, okay.
That's not the
Um,
worst one. Then I
This
don't
one
know.
is where he gets tired of all these nuclear weapons, and so he goes and pretty much steals all the nuclear weapons from every country, and he throws them all into the sun. But when he did that, when he did that, it set off a weird solar flare that empowered this this blonde-haired guy to be his enemy or whatever.
I was gonna say then melted the entire fucking ozone layer and everybody died.
Well, if you threw every nuclear weapon that that the world has made into the sun, it wouldn't even do anything. It wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm
wouldn't
sure.
impact the
I'm
sun.
sure
It would actually melt before it even got to the sun. So.
Oh, on that note, the greatest movie I've ever seen, I just saw it the other day, Hancock.
Yeah.
Greatest movie I've ever seen.
Dude,
Ever.
I actually liked that movie. I thought it had a good premise.
loved
but,
Only because
yeah.
the best part I've ever seen in cinema history is he saves Jason Bateman, and they're all complaining at him at the railroad tracks, and this lady's like, "You smell like booze." He's like, "I've been drinking, bitch." It's incredible.
Oh, that's because I'm drunk.
It was incredible.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I mean, I'm sure it's terrible, but I think it's awesome.
But so getting back, I guess, to the sorry, Scott, to
No,
rein
that
you
was
in.
awesome. That's good.
So
But I
I'll
mean,
segue.
what do you guys think about Walmart? Walmart getting involved with this, like.
I don't know. Can I think less of Walmart?
Yeah,
I don't think I'm capable of that.
Yeah.
Every time
Yeah,
I go
I
to
mean-
Walmart, I'm like, it reminds me why I never want to fucking go there.
Well, on top of this news with this energy thing, do you guys remember last week what they announced? They were cutting. Walmart is cutting all the health insurance for all their employees, except for management.
Wow.
Hypocrites.
So
What's
every single person that has bought into their healthcare plan is going to be canceled. And the reason why they're doing it is because they were they believe that once they have to do it for everyone who makes 30 hours a week, it would cost them an additional 0.5% of their revenue, and that's just too much for them to lose.
Well, luckily all those employees are eligible for the expanded Medicare under the Obamacare plan.
Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind. A lot of states deny that.
Well, they can still get it.
Was our president? We need Vladimir Putin.
Right.
That's who we need.
Yeah, because of Russia's and such.
He just arrests everybody there, and then he's all right.
Well, no, the United States has a much higher prison population than Russia does, so...
Is that per capita, or is that just total population?
The United States has, like, the largest prison population in the world.
Right, but
Period.
is that per capita? So for every
I don't know.
100,000 people...
For every
sure.
3 people on the planet, or in the United States, there's 1 person goes to jail.
All right, so let's see.
I'm pretty sure
Here, that
the
would
U.S.
be-
has it per capita and total number in every country.
Ray, according to your number, 2 of us are going to be in jail pretty soon.
Right. That's right, man. Probably because of what we're saying on here.
Well, no, because the thing is, though, is our panel is like 75% white. So, African Americans make up about 10% of the population, but they make up 70% of the prison population, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're fine. And now you kind of look pretty much white. I know you're half Mexican, but you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll make her.
Just get a haircut and you should pass.
I'll be all right. Oh, speaking of this, just a side note here. This morning on the CBS Morning Show, they had some guy on who's doing some documentary, and it's all featuring white people, all about white people and how white people feel about race and white people feel about this. And there were a bunch of outraged people on Twitter about it, and I'm like, why? I said, black people get their own goddamn TV stations and TV shows, BET. Black people can talk about everything. They get the Miss Puerto Rican or Miss, Hispanic, Latin America, blah, 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 this, that. Every other race gets to fucking do some shit, but white people can't have a freaking documentary on how white people feel? Sorry, guys. Sorry. It
There's
sucks. I'm
there's a new-
I'm glad I'm brown. I'm right in the middle. I can straddle it both ways. I can.
I don't know why
There's
people
a-
don't care about their culture,
Yeah. Well, who is the
Abe Lincoln.
No, there was some CEO that just said his tech company was it was diverse because it had Brits, it had French people, German people, Norwegian people, Russian people, and Polish people. So
He's right.
it's a diverse company.
Alan, I hope there's booze in whatever you just drank.
Oh, it is. It's apple. It's apple cider. There's Everclear in this.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah.
The I was gonna say, I forgot what I was gonna say, but anyway.
I'm sure it was fascinating.
Thank God.
Do you guys remember Mr. Stefaniak? I think he was the football coach for a little while, and
Yeah.
a 5th grade teacher over at Bush.
Yep.
He used to say that if you forget what you're about to say, it's because you were about to tell a lie.
Oh, boy, that sounds pretty dumb.
He
Sounds
used,
about right.
he used to say a lot of stupid shit, like all the plays he called.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Like the guy, though. Good guy. If you're listening, which I know you're not, great guy, not a
Good
great
guy.
coach. Not a great football coach,
Good
though.
coach.
No.
Anyway,
Oh,
All right. Let me see what else we've got going on.
back.
What's that?
Jesus is coming back, I hear.
There was something I was going to bring up, but I didn't put this in the show notes or anything like this. But did you guys hear about this Gamergate thing that they're talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
who's getting death threats. She was going to speak at some college, and the college got a bunch of threats that they're going to have a school shooting. It's going to be, we're going to have the biggest school shooting in American history and this and that. And this woman had to cancel her appearance there because there was no way that the cops could stop anybody from bringing a gun in there. They have the carry laws and stuff like that, so they can, you couldn't stop them from carrying the guns in. So this woman cancels her thing, but she is pretty much come out saying that all video games, not all video games, but most video games portray women as the either, the sex object, damsel in distress kind of a thing, and she's coming into the culture trying to, we need to change the way that games portray women, all that kind of thing. And the game manufacturers freaked or not the manufacturers, but the players and the people who want the games to stay the way they are have just flipped their lids, man, and made all these threats.
And she's not calling for the end of video games, and I'm not trying to side with her because I think
that'd be foolish.
Well, I don't think she understands.
I'm warning you.
I don't think that she understands that video games is a type of art, and because it's art, it's got certain. The artists who make it can take certain liberties that we wouldn't be tolerable if it was, your news hour, or something like that.
Right.
Jim Lair, yeah, he was.
Well, I play video games, and there's a few key points about this. One, you don't see too many heroes in video games, the males that look like me, like some fat ass with fucking,
Right. Hey.
They're all built dudes, all right?
I don't know, I play Madden.
Good point. And on the other hand, there's a lot of games where you can create your own character and you can choose which gender they are. And there's also, most of the fighting games are about half and half, female, male. And there's also there are several games that feature female protagonists, like Tomb Raider is one of the biggest franchises ever, and it's Lara Croft. So,
but what she's saying, though, is it's not just about the fact that women are portrayed, it's how they're portrayed. Like, Lara Croft, she's the protagonist, but she also wears Daisy Dukes and a cut-up tank top to go travel the world and find all these cool things, right? But
it's hot in the jungle. You can't wear a bunch of clothes.
I got some cool right there.
Running around Aztec temples and your winter jacket? Come on.
Hey, Wally, you know what this is all about, right, Wally? You know what it is, Wally? It's just chicks trying to ruin guys having fun again. Knows that our shit.
Well,
I gotta
it's
reevaluate my life.
It kind of comes at a crossroad right here because it's the crossroad of gender issues with video, and so it deals with gender issues and violence and things like this in the video industry. But it also this Gamergate.
We're talking about the NFL.
But the Gamergate also deals with the right to bear arms, the Second Amendment, because it deals with the campus police officers.
They said they couldn't do anything about it.
Said they couldn't do anything about it because they couldn't. And she said, "Well, I'll still give my speech if you guys have metal detectors and you stop people who have guns from entering the speech." And they said no because we have a law that protects gun ownership or open carry in this state on campus. And Utah and I think Wyoming are the only two states that have open carry on campuses, and it's all because of what happened in
with the Tea Party,
Virginia Tech.
No, there was another shooting after Virginia Tech.
Keep them straight.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it was because of a on-campus shooting, and so they wanted. Maybe it was the Colorado movie theaters. Maybe that's what it was.
But if one woman can't speak because she's threatened by some douchebag in a basement, that shouldn't negate the fact that you should have guns everywhere, so that shit don't happen, You know what would be funny is if the person making the threat is some freaking bold like lesbo.
You know, I'm contradicting my earlier point, but it's funny. There's this game called Dead or Alive. It's a fighting game, and after you hit a certain point, you can unlock the boob physics, so that you can actually make the tits on the chicks jigglier.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I'm playing the wrong games.
That's funny. Yeah, Scott, though, you said that by having more guns, it makes it safer, and
Yeah.
there's no evidence that demonstrates that to be true.
That's just
When
not true, Zach. It's not true.
police officers who train regularly with their guns only hit their
Kill unarmed
targets.
black people all the time.
It's not about hitting your
Well,
target.
They
It's not about hitting
only
your
hit their
target.
target 20
not
Here's
about
what we call a show blood boilers.
It's
What's
a
that?
complete deterrent. Complete deterrent. Look at that little. Oh, there's finally some poontang on.
Yeah. Hang on to my chest. I got some food.
As opposed to Dantang.
Well, he's a male cat.
Well,
He's a
you gotta
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's funny about this is okay. It's always man versus woman, the woman versus the man, but there's got to be some gay guys out there that be like who agree with the chick. There's got to be some lesbians that agree with the guys. There's got to be just people who just don't give a shit. You know, it's always like some crazy chick and some extremely crazy, person who doesn't want this chick to say what she's saying. I'm gonna shoot up the place. I like how that's the first reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, you're gonna
let's not
die,
shoot-
bitch. This person was obviously pissed off enough to write a fucking letter or send a message. It's like,
Well, it makes me wonder, are these people so threatened that they really are in fear that,
they're gonna take my games.
that these games are going to be, taken from them and that they're going to be canceled? And
They're gonna make Lara Croft wear a shirt.
yeah,
You're gonna take away my boob physics on Dead or Alive.
yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous that, it goes back to the thing that I started the whole show off with is how can you be so passionate about something that you're willing to kill somebody or threaten to kill them?
It has to
just
be
doesn't make any
easy.
sense.
person. It has to be, man.
That's
Because
easy.
when you get old like me, you just don't give a shit. You could care less. Even the
Yeah.
shit you really like. You're like, if somebody threatened to take certain things away from me, you're like, all right, I'll start over. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not passionate about anything enough to, oh, I don't know, ice cream. If someone told me I couldn't have ice cream for the rest of my life, I might go nuts.
Cozy
Sorry.
Shack rice pudding, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
If somebody said I had to have protected sex, I'd be upset.
Somebody told you to pull off.
That's
Somebody told you to
we
pull
can
off.
all
That doesn't work.
we can all fight for that. Right, Kitty?
That's right. That's right. He says, that's right.
All right.
He's dangerous, son of a bitch. I can see in his eyes.
Well, gentlemen, I think we've wasted another perfectly good hour of our lives. I'm disappointed that none of the ladies that we invited showed up. Apparently, they don't have the cojones to match wits with us.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you when there was a woman on about equal pay and stuff. I really want to discuss this. I really do. This is a topic that I really want to talk about but I want to wait for a chick to get on here so I can really.
All right. All right, we can do that. So, just on that note, for those of you guys don't realize, I invited. So at Jay's wedding, pretty much the table I sat with, they all said they really wanted to participate, and so I invited Lisa, I invited Stephanie, Jim's wife, and Rochelle. Plus, I also invited Matt Wangler and Jimmy and Jay. I always put an invite out for Jay, but we know him, right? Oh, and
I'm
Lisa.
glad you invited Nate.
I also invited Lisa too. So, and we can invite anyone. Wally, if you want your lady friend, and G-Dub, if you want your lady friend. Al, you want Brooke on here, just to
She'd be
get
fun.
a woman's perspective on stuff. I'm cool with that. But if anyone wants to veto it, I mean, feel free and say no. Let's
This
just
is
keep
the
it.
one place I go where I don't have to have them.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody else's wife's fine, but
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So, I threw the invite out there. I know Lisa saw the invite because you can tell on Messenger who looked at it. But no one else replied or said that they were interested, so it'll probably never happen.
Wangler at least mentioned that he couldn't do it tonight.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. So, all right, gentlemen. Same time next week.
Rock and roll, man.
All right, sounds good. You guys have a good night.
Yep.
Right, later, man.
All right.
Later.